Let's get this going. All right, so my headset's a bit down. Let's bring that back up. And I am going to cut to the bowling from yesterday. So this will probably go live right away. We'll see Duncan firing in before I recognize that my camera was not quite where I wanted it to be. But that will get fixed up a little bit into this. And Duncan starts off right on the head pin, but unfortunately for him, with a split. I need to remind myself to bring in the scoreboard, so give me 1 second, and I will do just that. And here we go. We're live as Duncan's looking to pick up the 3-7 to get himself started here early. A little high, and away it goes. So we will grab that. We'll see if I've got my replay set up the way that it should be. I don't, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Part of the fun of it, right? So there goes the replay. Replay cuts my audio. A couple of settings to tweak real quickly, but not the end of the earth. All right, so replay A, layers. As Duncan goes to fill it, and does just that. Almost getting them all. So he's got the 2-pin left. Picks up 9 on the spare. And just has to shave this guy. And does. So I will clip that as well. Duncan firing on all cylinders out of the gate here against me. And where is my stupid little... I used to have that cool little instant replay bit. If I can find that while I'm doing this. And Duncan once again wrecking head pins, killing fills, gets the late trip. I'm in trouble early as Duncan's off firing. And 49 plus. I don't even get the warm-up. All right. First ball on the strike. Again, crushing the head pin. Call that a Millis 9 if you want, but either way, I've still got my challenges and I'm going to deal with it. You can pick up the corner. No! Channels one away, so I get some breathing room finally as Duncan comes in with an open. Well, at least an open on a non-mark. But almost an instant me cheering him on. We'll get there as he's beating my ass. Such a good time. Good old Duncan there. 67 through 4. See if he can line one more up here in the first half. Finally misses the head pin. But left with a nice 1-2-4-9 to clean up. No wood to help him. Oh, sorry, 1-3-6-9. To clean this up and hang one for the half. A little short, chewing out the 3-6, leaving the 1-9. So, with his ball and the curve that he's got, it's going to be kind of hard for him to drill this direct into the 9, but we'll see how he does here. And again, hang with me for a little bit. And remembered, like, oh yeah, I might have the wrong cam set up. But Dunk pulls that one a little short, takes out the 9, leaving the head pin. There's only real a pair of 9s at the end of the half there, but 76 through 5 is a heck of a way to start. And I'm in trouble as he's on a 152 pace. Alright, we'll see if I can do anything here on 14. Obviously, you've got the tough start by Duncan to deal with. A lot of other bowling going on yesterday morning. It was kind of nice. A whole bunch of special needs people over on the left side of the house. And speaking of needing a little help, I am off to the right there, leaving the 4-horse to the left with the 6-10 over to the right, punching clean through. Certainly not starting off as hot as Duncan did. Oh. I feel that now, let me tell you. This time off to the left, punching out the 2, leaving myself the TP. So the 1, 4, 6, 7, 10, and obviously just want to clip on this one and boom, the field goal. So not the way you draw up starting a match, throwing a 5-box, but leave it to me. I've done it. See if we can get back on target here and shake off that spot.
Hey, there he is.
Thankful to the walls there for converting what looked like a 2-1 split into pretty makeable 3-pin. Piece of wood that potentially could be a jerk in front of it, but I know I'm thinking just avoid that guy, and there it is. It's hard not to get a pin when you hit it. So I'll take the spare, but trailing already 24. So I can try to do it for the next ball. On the head pin, a little bit of a push there out of the gutter, but a nasty split. Looking at the 3-6 and then the 7 and 8. So I had it in my mind, I want to hit this on the right side of the pin. See if I can spin that over into the other two. Pretty much where I thought about hitting it, and it looked cool, but came up short, and in the end, I'm left just looking at the 7 and 8 with no wood to help me. And the bunny hole. Gonna be a recurring theme. I decided to try to do this match actually the day after a league night, so I'd bowled 5 the night before, and Duncan obviously recovered a little better than my old body does. So a little tight, a little tough for me in the morning. On the head pin, solid push. Took a few times, but eventually that 5-pin went down. I will hit that one probably a little too late. We'll see if we get the replay on it as the ball smashes. See the 5 didn't want to go until the second round of the push kind of took it down. We'll get out of there, and I'll probably have already thrown my first ball and then sat here. Oh no, that's right. It took a while for that to reset. So we haven't missed anything good. The cool thing is while I've got my camera view set up here, as we can see the beautiful scoreboards that I never use on my streams here in Millis. And I'm on the head pin again, to my own detriment, and second split in 5 boxes, leaving the left wing a nice looking piece of wood, and then the 10-pin all the way over to the right. Luck, I can drop this right between the 2-4. See if that pin doesn't block me. I'm a little tight on the release, so I pulled the ball to the inside of the wing. That is in Millis. That is correct. Did I not put Millis in on the stream details? Or no? Managed to punch out the 10, so not a bad start. I'll take 58 through the half. How you doing, Edward? How are you? Thanks for swinging by. This match actually was recorded yesterday, so I don't know. Did I say? I did say Ryan. All right, I'm not lying. All the information's good. And look at the back of Duncan's head here for the start of the second half of the first string. I think at this point in time is when I realized, oh crap, my camera's not where I want it to be. So we'll get the fin cam and everything going in a second. Duncan's a little frustrated there as he punches out the Worcester right. Evil things happen out there, that's for sure. See if he can fire away and clip off that head pin.
What are you doing to me? Stop that.
No, he's going to have to struggle through a bunny hole there, so there's no way he'll do this 3 times, right? Now at this point in time, you start thinking, aim at the 1-2 pocket, you know, clip some pins. Oh, no! Duncan, it hurts watching it in the replay just as much as it hurt watching it live time, man. Yeah, that was Brandon, I felt it too when he did it. He felt it. We just both kind of said, all right, well, we've got the low box for the string covered, or for the series covered. And here we go. Here's my normal view. So you see the pin cam, which Duncan, as tall as he is, his bean is still going to get up there because he goes right to the foul line, stands up tall every time, but hopefully we can work around that. Oh, he shaves it in. I wouldn't have thought that that was the way to cover that. I remember watching it when he did it. I'm like, man, that's a scary way to do it, but that head pin shaved right over to the 7 for him and rolled and pushed that one down. So back on a streak, see if Duncan continues to just abuse me. Little off the head pin, takes out the right triangle in the corner there. So 4 horse with the 8 behind him. Yeah, Duncan's been on a hot streak, and he's definitely good in Millis for sure. You know, I told him Thursday morning's probably my best bet for this match, even though it's probably the worst idea for me because I knew my knee would be bugging me. But that's life. I made the choice. There's definitely a lot of good bowlers in Millis, but you know, the lanes can tighten up. What starts out pretty active, sometimes it results in you'd expect that you'd have a lot of wood left on the lane, and there's none because it just rolls all over the place and gets out of there. Sometimes it catches pins, sometimes it leaves you frustrated. Duncan, way off to the right there. Punches out the 6 for a lemon drop. I think he knew it when he did it. He's telling himself, get to the left. I actually had thought about tallying up how many times he orbits his body with the ball. Oof. Almost gets it on the comeback there. Everything but the 2. But I thought that'd be mean. He knows he does that for like a rhythm and a timing thing. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3, sometimes he'll be on it for a while. Oh! Just off to the right there, so he settles for the 9. Which house out there, Brandon? You out in Bogey? I get to bowl in Bogey against Phil Clough sometime this year. I'd like to actually get that scheduled. I like the older houses. I like the tougher houses. I find those more enjoyable personally. I grew up in what was considered a tough house back in Framingham, Bolorama, back when I was young. So between Bolorama and then we'd go to like Airways, which was definitely juiced, especially for the TV lanes. It was a good time. Not out of Bogey, so where are you out of over there? What else is out west? I don't know a lot of the Western Mass lanes. Ooh, it's going to push it. No. So, a great first ball on the head pin by Duncan. Gets everything but the 10. He's got a kind of a cap block out front, but a good line against him on the 10. So if he can scoot around that guy, he'll be doing well. Duncan's troubles with the gutter on that 10 pin have continued, so he'll take the 9 for that box. Settle in at 120, so that's going to give me some work to do. I've got to come back and I got to cover a 62 pin gap here. As Duncan throws 1 strike, 3 spares, and was 5 out of 10 on the head pin for a 120. Alright, let's see if I can get back and cut into this lead that Duncan set up. Hopefully I can. It would feel nice. Hey, Duncan, good to see you here, man. That 2 was pretty awesome. I held that guy tight, gave Duncan the laugh. I'm like, that's no head pin. So Duncan was good enough. We were keeping score on paper, and I used some hieroglyphics there to allow me to track things. But I'll take the snowplow there as I drop that right on the plank with a little bit of extra spin, hoping that it would carry that guy over. And it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So I'll take the spare as I try to catch back up to Duncan's quick start. Looking for a fill. Kind of surprised the way that that one peeled off the way that it did, but I'll settle for an 8 fill any day. A 5/8 to pick up here. Piece of wood off to the side that I shouldn't really pay any attention to. And right on it. So, giving myself a chance to get back in this string there as I split the 5/8 the way that you should. Back-to-back spares here to start off the second half. And off to the left, but not suffering too badly for it as the 10-pin falls. So just the 1-3-6 to run down for a spare. How hard can it be, right? Coming off of 2 spares, just the streak going. Knew it as soon as I threw it. Pulled that one across the head pin. Oh, Agawam. Nice. Yeah, I don't get out there that often. Obviously, I live in North Attleboro, so even for me, you know, getting back up to the Pike is kind of a bit of a trip. But like I said, I do get to go out to Bogey. I do get to bowl against Phil Clough out there. I'm certainly looking forward to that match. Hey, Skull, I see you over there on Twitch, buddy. How are you? This was the match I was bowling yesterday at 11 in the morning. The day after league bowling, so I was a hurting unit up here. Again, on the head pin, but this is probably just me. My hand not quite being where it needs to be. And the ball's not driving the way that it should. So I wash around, leaving the diamond and the corner on the left. And then the second ball, equally weak, just not driving through those 3 like it should. Once again, a 5/8 to clean up for the 10. We're dead even after 8. All I need to do is get 18 in the last 2 to tie, 19 to win. And nope. I'm just going to yank that guy clear across and hate myself for leaving 2 pins up on the deck there that should have been done. Ugh, that still frustrates me. Had a few of them like that yesterday, I remember clearly. Off of the head pin, getting the 7 to fall, so very simple concept. Just throw this ball right in this pocket and take it home. Right? 1-3, that should almost automatically drive into the 9. And no big deal. Unless you leave it off to the left and feel like an idiot. So, got the pin there. Obviously you can see in the pin cam a couple of planks on the side of it lined up beautifully. No, we definitely didn't bowl consistent. I'll leave it at that. But we started out nutted up at 120, so a point apiece. Duncan had a strike, 3 spares, no 10s. I had a strike, 3 spares, and 2 10s. I had them nipped in head pins. But yeah, I'm just kind of a difficult and frustrating string for me, and I think that's going to set the pace for how things really go. But it was fun for me, like I said. Ever since I've come back to bowling, I don't think I've thrown back-to-back days. My knee doesn't like it, my hand doesn't like it, but whatever. I wanted to. I got to get back to bowling, you know, more consistently. And Duncan, crushing the head pin to start there. Everything but the 8. Sorry, everything but the 4. Beautiful plank in front of it. So I'm gonna pre-fill this one because I have no doubts that he takes this down. And absolutely right on it. So when the lanes give you a duck, you gotta kill that duck. You know, there's just no excusing missing those ones. And Duncan did not disappoint. Alrighty, on the fill. Little short, and unlike Millis, he's going to just settle for taking out 4. Got the 4 horse off to the left, and 8 and 10 behind it. Not really anything good to talk about with the wood, but obviously you hit this between the 1-2. Nope. And sometimes, nice to see I'm not the only one that can just totally miss one that you think you should get. So, a little off for dunk, and looking at the 1-2-10 for a cleanup. And hits the head pin solid, but not enough love to get over there and kick out the 10. He'll take the 9. 23-2. Not a rough start. See what goes from here. Right on the head pin. Not quite the mix that I would expect out of Duncan's ball. So he's got the 3, the 5, the 9, and the 10, and a great piece of wood there. So if he can get on the right side of that 3 pin, it should blow up. But that one stayed with him.
Leave that behind.
Pulled that to the left of everything. And I tell people, anybody that I bowl against, I'm happy to cheer for them. So, you know, it's always leave that one behind, shake it off, anything I can to keep bowlers in the game. Duncan's second ball, a little further to the right than he'd want. Has to settle for the 8. And 31-3. Giving me a little easier start than he did in the first one. This time to the right of the head pin. Clearing out a pretty good mix. So just the 1, the 2, the 7, and the 8. Again, wood's really kind of lined up to let this just blow up and take care of things. And it does. So, a pretty spare by Duncan as he hits the outside of the head pin. And gets them all to kind of crumble down. I clipped it. I didn't replay it, but we can go through them all at the end as I'll try to snag as many cool little bits as possible. Oof. Yeah, that's hard, man. When you come off a pretty good spare, you throw the ball on the head pin and right on through it. Duncan takes the spread eagle, pulling a spare.
Come on, do it! Oh.
I really thought, and I know I thought it yesterday, I thought that 4 pin was going to come down. I really thought that was going to trip the 2 into the 3, but didn't quite happen. I love the cover, right on the cap, pushing the ball over into the 3 with a pin. So, 55.5 for Duncan. So, no strikes, 2 spares, and a 10. 3 out of 5 on his head pin to start that string off.
5 2 marks.
But good times, yeah. All I got to do is beat a 5 to start. You can see, again,
You're allowed 1 8 box.
cranky knees. My slides, even my practice slides are not consistent. I got to get there. I got to be able to bowl back-to-back days. That's all there is to it. Woof.
First ball dinner is all gone now.
I'm used to my first ball, like my hands usually like wet from keeping score or whatever. I'm used to that first ball pushing away. I'm not used to really clinging onto it that hard.
Oh, come on back.
Another example of
Oh, you got a ball.
I was bowling with the brace. It doesn't take away the pain and the soreness. How you doing, Mom? But it's another example of, because I can't slide right, I can't drive right. I'll take the 10, but, my ball certainly wasn't behaving the way that my ball usually does. I wasn't driving through pins. I was bouncing off of them. And, again, little things. Got to get there. My hand's not gripping the ball the same. I dropped a lot throughout the course of the match. On the head pin, almost a split, but not, and almost a strike, but not. The Millis love that everybody likes is not always a constant. So, a nice easy 3-6 pickup, and there you go. Right on it where I should be, so I get a spare, and it's a completely different story between this string and how I started out the last one. But let's see if I can fill this thing worth a damn. Avoid Duncan's habit of spread eagles, although, to be fair, he has, what, 5 spares, one of them filled with a spread eagle. But a good head pin ball, a solid 8 fill. Same thing, just hold this guy tight down the line. I usually just stay on the same spot that I stand for my head pin ball, and I just flatten my hand out. Or you just hook it across your body like a jerk and blow an easy spare, but frustrating. So, see if I can pick it up for the 10. And we're going to drop it. Why? Why not, right? So, I'm up by 5 through 3. I need 19 over the next 2 in order to square up this string. Let's see what... Duncan over there cheering me on with the dueling 8s. Too funny. Boom. I don't know if that would have been a strike everywhere. You know, obviously you need good sidewalls to kick them off like that, but that was in hard and heavy on the head pin. Why not? I got 10 seconds. Let's drag this one back up. Pretty strong. And leave it to me not to notice the dead wood in the gutter. I notice it now. I don't think either of us noticed that for a while.
2.
Once again, solid on the head pin. And this time with a little more realistic outcome there. Leaving myself the 3-1 split. I'm trying to think about how I can hit that pin to deflect all the way over to the right. I kind of wanted to come from the left, but that piece of wood is too straight for me to really get the deflection that I need or to leave me a lot of window. So the one thing I don't want to do is hit the cap. And I hit the cap. So I'll take the 8 on the strike. Kind of frustrated that I didn't convert this one. I do agree that well, there are easy spares. A lot of them are not. And then let that one slide away. Test the knee a bit. I'll take the 9 box and a slight lead. Heading into the bottom half. Up 8 on Duncan. I had him with an extra head pin, a strike and a spare to his 2 spares. But here we go. We'll see how he can do the second half. That's a heck of a start there. And, ooh. So, comes back. Gives himself a nice plank there. And boom. Smack dab on it for the spare. No doubts. Get the clip of that real quick before it's past the 10-second mark. Ooh. All right. See if Duncan can fill. He can. And he was looking forward to that. The repeat of his spread eagle fill. Back-to-back spares, back-to-back boxes. And another shot at the spread eagle. I was wondering if that one was going to make the 3 fall down into the other. And then hits the wing. You'd think that the wood would help him, but left him short. And dunks off the head pin with his 3rd box. They continue to fall, and they will continue to fall. Wow. So now he's left with the 3, 6, 9, and 10. Duncan, watching that a second time, I still don't understand how you ended up with just the half Worcester out of that. I still say it was that piece of wood when you hit it. It just kind of took everything out of that ball. And cleans it up for a 10. So 88 with 2 to go.
Like one piece of wood took everything off that ball. Yeah, that was unbelievable. Definitely.
Once again, off to the left with his first ball. Takes out the left side, so he's got the 1-5 and everything off to the right of it.
One down the heart. One down the heart. Come on.
Yep, exactly, Dunk. Right down the heart now. So off to the left, off to the right. Just needs to clean up the 1-3-5. And some boxes you just don't want to touch that head pin. So nothing but the middle finger from the lanes for Duncan there. 97 with a box to go. Once again, still desperately seeking head pin. He's off to the right. Got the 4 horsemen off to the left. So run this one down, Dunk. Hit that candy cane pin and take it home. And just that, absolutely perfect. That's the way that I actually prefer shooting the 4 horsemen, is just catching the outside and letting it drive itself down the line. So 107 plus to finish up the second string for Duncan. Quickly looking at the scoreboard, he's got 5 head pins, and it's going to be a 7. So 114 with 5 head pins, 4 spares, and a pair of 10s. And as you can see through the 2, I've got to throw 51 here to catch him, 52 to not tie him a second time. Old man with a bad knee. Still funny that I couldn't even get a decent practice slide. That's how much my knee was bothering. Alrighty, so starting out on the head pin, a little heavy with a 3-1 split there. I love the wood on this one. So, you know, my thought is I want that stripe. That should carry that and then deflect my ball over to the 7. There is a piece of wood that I saw behind the 3, and you can see it here really clearly, the 3-6, which came into play because, like a jerk, I missed by 1.5 miles and I knew it. All I had to do was let that ball go.
I can't believe the 10 didn't go.
Duncan hadn't seen the pin that was in the back. I'm like, I knew that would carry, but I didn't want to hit it. And that's exactly the ball I had thought about throwing and wish I had. So that's where the 10 was. That's where the spare should have been. And I got nobody to blame but me. All right, 41 to go, 42 for the win. I knew it when I threw that one. That was just flat out of my hand. So 3rd split in a row as I go 3-2 off to the left. Tough breaks. And that's kind of what I love about Millis. Like, you know, yep, wrong side, idiot. So I wanted to leave that ball out there. Came on the inside of the wing, chipping out the 2 and the 7, leaving the 4. Part of me thinks I could try to make the shot there with that wood, but I just wanted to take the simple 2. Pins matter at this point in time. I know I need a mark because Duncan threw the big spare in the 10th. So 32 to go in 3, 33 for the win. Let's see if I can get back on track here and not throw a split. The good news is if you miss the head pin,
It's a nice leave on the half Worcester shot.
you have a lesser of a chance of ending up with a split. So here I am looking at 1, 4, 7, 9, and 10. And yes, Mom, you can. The match will stay here on this ACST website, and I dropped the ball off to the right. Dude, I can be mean to me all day long. That's part of the fun of doing any of my own, any of the streaming of myself. And I have no desire to be mean to another bowler. I think the worst that I can do is pick on you for going around the world when you're orbiting yourself with the ball. Looking for the cleanup. That one hurt. I'll have to settle for the 9 as I keep up with Duncan and leaving head pins on the lane. And I enjoy it because, my team on Wednesday nights, our team is the missing head pins because, yeah, it's never fun. But when the head is the only pin left on the lane, you just feel like a doofus. All right, off the head pin again. Punching through the half Worcester with a few friends. So I'm left with the 1, 3, 6, and then the 4 and 7 over to the left. So kind of hoping to cap and split. And off balance on my slide, playing scoots. Absolutely annihilating the head pin. So now taking what was a pretty makeable spare, turning it into a very difficult 10 with a 3, 6, 4, 7. And check this beautiful bit of garbage out.
Perfect. Couldn't play it better.
I still remember that. Missing by a mile, getting the 6,
yeah,
and thankfully the plates moved. So I will take the 10, but still need a mark now as I'm trailing 13. So I need 14 to win. Once again, still letting that ball go, and we'll see if they're all going to happen. No. So, still does not count as a skill shot or a lack of skill shot. Ken, the jury's still out on that one. But now I've just got to drive my way through this guy. There we go. It's always tricky when you have a couple of pieces of wood like that. And you're not quite sure how they're going to play. So when I'm throwing a shot like that, one of the things that I tend to try to do is to really lift my fingers tight to let the ball roll a little more forward than usual. And can't even hit the head pin on the fill. But the 6 becomes a 7, becomes an 8. I might as well hang around to see if that turns into a strike. So, as silly as that is, I managed to come back a little bit on Duncan there, or just hold off Duncan, I should say, and win the string 119 to 114. So again, 6 head pins, 1 strike, only 2 spares this time. I turned into an extra 10. Duncan with 4 spares and 2 10s as we get ready for the 3rd. And I think this is where my slides start to catch up with me.
Right back at it, Duncan. Come on, start it up.
All of those stupid little short stops and, being off balance because of my knee. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. And Dunk starts off slowly with a strike. A nice little push off the wall there, getting the 10 to bounce and wiggle its way on it. That's not a spare. That's a strike. The 10 collapses into the 5, knocks it over. You can go for 2.
2!
I did call 2. First ball takes out 4. It's got the 4 horse off to the left. 6-10 over to the right.
Carry, come on.
Off target. Gets an interesting splay out of that. Gets left with a high-low jack. Clean up for a 10. And from the Micah School of head pin annihilation, Duncan just smashes right through the head, leaving the bedpost. But 25 through 2, so not as good as his first. Not as less good as his second, because I don't think Duncan's gone the first 2 without a mark yet. Unfortunately, his fill is off to the right once again. Not a fill, sorry, but his first ball is off to the right. Knocks out the half wish to the right along with the 5 and 7. So the 1, 2, 4, 8, 6 and 7. 6 and 10, no wood.
Alright, those ones always kind of suck anyways.
Drunken MacDougall. No. Tough stop there for him as he pulls that ball all the way over to the left. He's got the 1, 2, and then the 6, 10. And close to picking up the 10, but obviously way too light on the head pin. He'll settle for the 8 box. 33 through 4. Still 2 pins ahead of his previous string. Three balls in a row, staying out to the right side as he knocks out the arrow. He's left with the 4 horse on the left, a 9 pin trailing to the right. And this time off to the left of the head pin, punching through the 2 and knocking the 4 out to the side. So 1, 7, 9. He's got this nice piece of wood in front of the 7 to help. So if he can hit the inside of the 1 hard enough to drive to the 9. Ooh. Well, he did. I just don't know how that didn't kick over far enough to catch that piece of wood in front of the 7. But, you know, the other side too is because the plates at Millis move pretty quickly. Sometimes a pin that might drag and catch that wood in another alley, they won't do it here in Millis because it just skips off so quick. Dunk still stays away from the head pin here, this time off to the left, leaving the horse to the right. See if we can clean this up. Ooh. Right back to punching out the head pin, just like me. So 3, 6, 10 to clean up for a 10. Put himself over 50 at the half here. It takes out the back 2, but a 9 box will have him at 51. So what started out really good cooled off pretty quickly. Duncan sitting there with a strike and a head pin, but then drying up after that. So 51 half, not his best for sure. I definitely imagine he would want some of those boxes back. I think I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here as we went to visit a couple of guys that were bowling all the way over to our right. Bill Tedeschi was there. I know he'd actually he'd broken his hand, so I wanted to go over and check in on him and say hi. And that's the first. I remember that. That was like the first good slide I had on a practice ball, on a practice slide, and I think it was shortly thereafter where everything falls off the wagon for me as far as sliding goes. Ironically enough, I'm finally clearing the dead wood that I left there in the last string. Duncan bowled the whole half without seeing it. We're pretty sloppy. All right, starting out on the head pin, real solid. I'll take it. I'm not quite sure how I didn't end up with a split. I don't understand how I didn't end up with a strike. It's just kind of one of those weird balls that was heavy on. So just need to shoot the 10. Man. Didn't miss it by much, but doesn't matter how much you miss it by. A miss is a miss. So no spare for me. See if I can clean this up for a 10. So, no. The good news is it went off the lane on the sheet, not through the gutter, but still came back and hit it from behind. So that, my friends, is a 9 box. Thank you, Dunk, for grabbing the loosey goose there for me. Ball came all the way back. All right, let's see if I can leave that one behind and get back on track here. On the head pin, no love on the king, and a rotten place for that guy to sit. So obviously for this one, I want to hit the tip of that cap. Otherwise, that'll just deflect me.
Oh, what a shot.
And dead on. So I will be happy to take that spare. It really feels good when you know where you want to put the ball and you actually put the ball there. So I'll take the spare and we'll see if we can load this up here. That one got away from me as I went off to the right and I left both teeth wiggling. So the candy cane up front and the 8 behind, but neither of them was going to go over. But a solid 8 fill. I want to just punch this one as hard as I can and take that 8 out. And I'm really not sure how that didn't carry. I was kind of bummed out on that one. I thought I had it. And, yep, just got to clean up the 8. Or not.
My glasses this way a bit, see?
It was a frustrating day. Like, look, whatever. I chose to bowl. I got no excuse. But I certainly was just off on single pins more than I want to be, more than I should be. A little bit of a drop there on the release, off to the left. The 1, 3, 7, and 9, which I like these kind of spares normally. I just want to put it right between the 1 and 3. Hopefully the ball will drive off the 3 and into the 9. And it did. Did everything I was supposed to do, but a little too heavy on the head pin, so the head pin didn't do its job of carrying on over to the 7. So unfortunately, another blown opportunity there, and letting that one drop right out of my hand is not going to help my cause. I'll settle for another 9. So watching my perfect box percentage just hit the crapper real fast. So far in this half, 2 9s, 9 9. So 9, 18, 9 9. I do have a 3-pin lead through completed boxes, and this time I'm going to decide I want to miss the head pin to the right. Not happy. Not happy at all. So I've got a mess to clean up as I take out the half wister right in the 5. So basically just want to throw a Brooklyn ball. There we go. I did have a factor in that one. That would have picked up that 1-8 spare. Unfortunately, taking out the 1-8 out of that leave, I'm left with a 3-2 split again. The good news is this time it took me 2 balls to get to this point. Right? Let it go. Oh, and it just slid a little too much outside of me. So a rough ending there with a 7. I do have a 1-pin lead over Duncan, but that was kind of a rotten half with just a single spare to talk about, a couple of head pins. So Duncan and I definitely not doing so good here. Let's see if he can change that around. Count the orbits, folks. Count the orbits. Duncan on the head pin gets the wraparound. He loves triangles. So he's got the triangle off to the left. 2, 4, 5. The wood's behind it, so shouldn't factor in.
That's it.
And he hates him. He hit that pretty well. I don't know why he was as worried, but it was a good job of punching right through there on the 2, 4 and getting the 5 to drop sideways for him. Let's line him up for a fill.
That, my friend, is no spread eagle. Nice
Oh, absolutely. Broke a streak of spread eagle fills.
Light and good.
Catching everything but the 4, so a single pin for the spare. 70 through 6. Hey, Ronald, how are you? Oh, and he tickles it. So 2 in a row for Duncan. Doesn't matter how little you get it by, as long as you get it, right? Nice ball dunk. Let's see if we can fill this one up.
Boom! Wow.
That is one heck of a way to fill it. So we'll watch that strike a second time. Or try to. He's too tall. He's too tall. So strike on spare. And I'm suddenly in pain. So At 100 plus
I would
2
expect
balls.
that you'd run when you hit it.
Me too, but then it obliterates on that side. When I hit it like just heavy enough.
Yeah. No, it's a good ball.
And I am in trouble. All right. On the strike.
Up the ladder.
Off the head pin. Everything but the 1-2. You hear me yelling behind the scenes there. Up the ladder. Hoping he can pull off a double, even if it's backwards. And right on it with a spare. Let's get a flip of that. Duncan, 4 in a row here in the second half. Gonna really start to pour it on me. Off his mark. A little bit of a helicopter of pins there, but not enough to get over to what he needs. Got the 1-2-4 to the left at 10, trailing all the way over to the right. And I don't know how he's able to cap that wood off the sidewall. It doesn't take out the 10, but then just comes and pinwheels for a while without touching a single thing.
Yes.
Somehow manages to get 3 out of the 4 on that one. A 135. So from a very rough start, Duncan pours on a heavy 84 half for 135 string. 4 head pins, 2 strikes, 3 spares. It goes 10-less, so at least there's a hope for me to take a lead in some category here. But we'll see what I can do to come back, trailing 83 in this string. Piece of cake.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Yeah, there's your ocean ball.
Knew that one when I let that one
At
go.
least it wasn't a fill.
Punching out the back triangle on the
I've
right.
never seen one.
So the good news is I guess I only got 80 more pins to go. But yeah, rough start.
Boom. Ah, just missed.
Just off my mark. Tight again, washing out the second row. So now it's just the 4-horse off to the left. And not really a safety ball. That was a drop.
Nice
So
safety there.
everything but the head pin. I'll take the $9. And what was a 1-pin lead becomes a 9-pin deficit in the string through completed boxes. Trying to right the ship. Get back on target. Let's set the head pin here. That's all you're thinking at this point in time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a
Boom.
bomb that was.
Wow. There's hope for me yet. Yes. So trying to come behind when Duncan's going through his Dutch here with a spare strike, spare. See if I can match him. Secretly, I'm thinking, let me throw 3 strikes in a row so I can just take it easy after this, right? But
2.
solid first ball,
there,
right up
one.
on the head pin. Interesting wood. So at this point in
There's only one
time,
that's
I'm
real,
looking
but-
at the 2 planks. I'm thinking about the one that's over to the right.
So.
I want to hit the one on the right on the stripe and just push it all over to the left. Nice and easy.
Catch.
Sanama. Right on the cap.
Yeah.
Missed the shot. So
Harder shot
now
than
I'm
it
left
was,
looking at
especially
the 5, 6, 7 with what I think is a blocking piece of wood in front of it.
There you go. Oh.
And then I go and I hit it high
Guess
and
that
go,
was that.
I should have done that a ball ago. So I know Paul Grant likes to call those the Paul Grant special. You know, I call it a 10. But I don't think I would have shot at that for the spare ball. So I don't know if that qualifies under his rules. I don't
Work it out now.
get that result from
Run it
that
down,
drop
see what
ball.
happens.
Kind of shaking my head about how I punched out the check mark.
Give it a ride.
The 4-horse to the right, the 7 and the 8. I'm a little annoyed with myself having just watched this one drift away from me.
Oh.
That still hurts. Ugh. Right through the head pin. So now I've got quite the yucky array of pins on the plate here. Let's see if I can clean this up a little and at least try to cut into the deficit some. And once
All right,
again,
finish now.
frustrated, off my mark. I'm going to settle for a rotten 7-box. Two of
Three in
them
a row, we tie again.
in this string.
Oh, no.
And
I have it wrong.
I generally take a lot of pride in
Here's the
pinning.
total then.
And I have no pride today because that was just yucky.
Oh, come on, you ass.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours. What looked like it could have been a good splash kind of ends rough. I'll take a look at the wood here. I'll tell
A lot of
you
junk there. It could be
what
really
I'm
fun.
thinking is I want to hit this front piece of wood
I think you throw it
as far to the left as I can, and Duncan's thinking the same way.
The wood in the gutter will
And
still
I'm kind of counting on that pin to spin, hit the piece of wood that's, looking at me at the 5-pin. And instead, I just crush my way through it.
That's why you can do that.
So, it's tough. You want the pins, you want the spare, you want as good of a score as you can get, and I left some on the plate today.
Hey,
Shave the 10. So Duncan takes this one big, and through 3, he's got a 25-pin lead in the series.
25-pin lead.
He's got 4 head pins, 2 strikes, and 3 spares. I had 5 head pins, a strike, a spare, and 2 10s. But he leads where it matters, and we'll cut over to the 4th score. See if we can get back in this one, trailing 25. Splits. They're going to be the death of me. Dunk starts off right of the head pin there, taking out the arrow again, so the 4 horse to the left, the 9 trailing behind to the right.
Come on!
Come on! Hey, same reaction, watching it again. Takes out the 1 and the 2, but has no love staying in there for the 4-7. He does get the 9 to kick out, but a little tight. Leaves the 4 standing. Starts out with a 9. Actually, the first time Duncan hasn't had a first box mark in our match. Take my break wherever I can get him.
There you go.
Well, that's now a distant memory as he just comes right back at it and does this beautiful little mix 'em, blows 'em up some, the 4-pin candy cane getting tripped late at the end there. Beautiful strike. Dunk's marks tend to come in chunks. Nice good head pin hit, no love on the mix. Left with a 3-5, a nice piece of wood to the side of it that you can get it out and keep it out to the right. This should just plow right through it. Absolutely. So once again, as Duncan usually does, when they come in bunches. So we'll watch that one again as he slides that right back to the inside. So spare on strike.
The run alive.
39 plus through 3.
Am I getting that ball?
Oh, I do mind, Duncan. I don't want to go get that. It's going too slow. Old man's got to go all the way down the lane for this. That's not nice.
What does funky things?
It's all part of his strategy. It's going to make me tired. All right, Duncan on the spare. What do we get here? Man, we got to count those orbits, man. I need a tracker for that. High on the head pin.
All right, good wood.
Has a 3-2 split. The plank isn't bad. I actually like that. If you can put it right between the plank and the 3, or on the outside of the 3. I mean, it's wacky, wavy, inflatable, flailing arms guy. I remember that.
I hit it though.
My God.
You did hit it. You absolutely hit that where I would have put it. It just didn't happen. I don't trust those candy cane pins, man. I really don't. I really hate when they're in the head pin. I'm sure it doesn't make any difference, but I'm convinced those pins just don't fly way, like, there's something about those pins that are different than a standard pin, and I don't know what it is. I don't care if it's this one or the ones that are like fully boom. Well, while I'm bitching about the pins, Duncan is just annihilating them all. So another strike for Duncan as he crushes the pocket and gets the good mix there to take out the corners. So 63 plus 2.5 for Duncan. A great half with 3 marks, 4 head pins. Oof. And yeah, I'm starting out this string looking way uphill.
No 10 bucks to be found, though.
That is true, Duncan. No 10 bucks to be found for a while. You had 2 of them in string 2.
One 10 bucks.
But other than that, ooh, 10s were not your game.
Apparently mine, too. Staring up a storm, thank God.
You are.
Boom.
Man, I still am angry about that one. That one really looked like a good strike ball. Hits the pocket high, clobbers everything, and here I am having to hit a plank. Again, these are the ducks, right? You get a spare like that, you've got no excuse. Just take it in. Those are the ones that you know you can't give up. So, role reversal here. Duncan had a mark in the first box of every string until the 4th, and I hadn't had a mark in the first box until the 4th. Oh.
Ow. Like a little full, but not that full.
Jeez. Well, no, I mean, it was that full. I'm surprised that sidewall pin just shot between the 4 and the 6 and 10. And, yep, I got the 2, 4, 6, 10 with nothing to help me. And that one dropped. So, take out the 4, leave the 2. At this point in time, you just want those 2 pins for the sake of pins, right? So focus on driving this one right down there. And chomp. And again, this is me knowing that I'm a little beat, a little tired, and I'm not finishing my release. I'm not, I'm throwing a flatter ball, and I paid the price for it on those 2. If I'm chopping out pins and I'll take what I can get here. No. If I'm washing weak hits like that, it's all about me not releasing the ball right, and it is important. The very basics of, you want to shake hands with the pins when you let go of the ball, and try not to pull it tight like a jerk and give away a nice easy 3-6 spare. Still irritated with myself over that. I think I'm still talking to myself about it.
Oh, right in the face, that one.
Oh, I remember that. That's right. I actually moved over to the center for that cover. I don't know why it was so tight. I was bitching about exactly that. Didn't know why I would have to move my feet to pick up that spare. And still on the head pin. And they're still wiggling, wobbling, and is it going to get the corner? No.
Is that
But
7 pin rooted in the ground?
it's that same, yep, I guess I should get up there and give me Duncan's wacky, wavy, crazy, inflatable, flailing arms guy thing to see if I can get that 10 pin to fall down. But again, same thing. Drop the ball flat, roll over the top of it, push it through, and take out the corner. So it doesn't look like there's much to these, but if you've ever had one that's got a couple of pieces of wood tucked into a corner like that, you've got to hit it in a certain way so you're not deflecting or bouncing those off. But they feel good. They feel good when you hit them and you drive through them properly. So, anyways, 44 plus here. Still trying to chip into the trouble that Duncan's got me in. And that one will slide away. Almost 5 for 5 on the head pins, but I choked it out. Off to the left, leaving the 1, 3, 6, and 8, which, again, I love these kind of spares. Drop the ball in the pocket, maybe a little high, and let it happen. Ideally, not that high. So, drilled the 1 right out of play, took the 3 off the sidewall as I was a little heavy on the head pin. The 6-8 for a pickup, a nice piece of wood. I kind of want to come over to the right, and I didn't get over to the right enough. So. A sad and disappointing $8. I throw a couple of spares in the half, 4 head pins, and a 10, but I am in trouble. Down 5 plus 2 balls to Duncan.
It was my bad decision.
But like I said, I know it's me. I know I'm leaving pins on the plate. The good news is you know, through 4 strings, we've been better than 50 at the half every half between the two of us. So it's been some decent solid bowling. Dunk's first ball on the strike, off to the right, leaves the horse to the left. So 69, dude, plus this ball. 69 it's gonna be. So once again, just the horseman here to the left. Dunk's probably wanting a few more pins there on that strike than he got. And I don't know if that was safety on his behalf or not, but leaves the head pin up once more. And the 9 box has him at 78 through 6. So here we go into the 7th. A healthy splash. That ball looked like it was pretty solid on the head pin to start. He had the 4 go down, but the 6 is standing there by himself. So Dunk hit the single. That one looked like it went off his foot the way that it shot out there from the beginning. So no spare for Duncan here. See if he can pick it up for a 10. Oh, and that one's tight. Overcompensation, yeah. Well, any of us that are bowling in Candlepin are overcompensating for something, right? Okay, Dunk. 3 to go. 87. You saw a lead on me. Oh, those are the ones that he gets me in trouble with. Hits that head pin nice and light. Shaves it off to the side. So got a good piece of wood lined up there, giving him a little room for error to hit that. You know, probably I'd say anywhere from the stripe to the top of the pin, and this should be almost an automatic spare. I say that because the minute that you think these are automatic, you know, it pops around and leaves you wondering. But, yep, that was definitely just like expected. A big explosion there on the side as Dunk picks up the spare in the 8th. So 97 plus a ball.
You made every single single with a bike in front of it at least. You can say that.
We've hit every single pin with a plank in front of it. Yeah, we haven't missed any of the ducks. That does matter. All right. See how the fill is.
Come on!
Ooh. I really thought that was going to carry the corner, but hey, if you can spare 9 all day long, you're going to have a hell of a day. So just has to shoot the 7 here.
That's it! Oh!
And oh, I forgot all about it in practice. The curtain there in behind it, the backer board just gets, you hit it hard. It's a nice loud thunk every time. And Dunk, unfortunately for him, that one shaved the wood in the channel, so it's just a 9, not a 10. But 115 with a box to go. Again, a real solid string for Duncan. We'll see what he can do here in the 10th. Oh no! Takes out the right side. He's got the 1-5 and everything to the left of it. As he continues to put a decent string together here. Ooh. Gets the carry of the 8 pin there. It went. That's all that matters. It's a great place to drop a mark. So he gets it light, and the 8 pin finally tumbles back into the pit. So 125 plus a fill here, forcing me to throw a good second half. Well, he called it. Up on the head pin, solid. Good news is he is right. He doesn't have to shoot that. So a 410 split, but that's an 8 fill, and that's the part that matters. So 133 for Duncan, a 502 through 4. And at the moment, has a 75 pin lead in the string. So once again, I've got to come up and throw a brutal second half and keep my knee together. Otherwise, I'm going to be trailing in this match 5 points to 3. Duncan was 7 head pins, 2 strikes, and 3 spares in that string. As I come up in the second half to see if I can chip away at this.
It's not my ball. I have all 4. Probably a pin.
Just hearing something. The place had kind of gotten a little quieter. No music going on overhead, so.
Boom. Ah.
Wow. Let's hold on to the ball as long as we can today. So I ripped that one
That's maybe easy mode.
right through the right side half Worcester. Managed to get the 5 to go with it, but quite a mess to clean up here.
Oh my god.
Dropped it. Dropped it, punches out the 2, and look at this garbage, folks. Yes, the 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10 is still standing. And you just want to get something out of this, and dropping it like that is not the way to come back from a 75 pin deficit. So, a rotten 6 box.
Hey, sorry, no matter what you do, you
Not
can't
my
have a
worst
low
of the
box
day,
today.
but certainly not something I'm going to write home about, because that was just irritating.
I don't know. If you lemon drop punch, then you deserve it.
We're talking about my garbage 6 box. But at least it's no 2. On the head pin, but again, I'm not sliding right. I'm not releasing right, and just a light result there, leaving the check mark over to the right.
Catch! Oh, you rat.
I thought I had it. I really did. I thought I threw that ball perfectly. That felt good. The slide felt good. Timing was good. And nope. Just kind of stuck to the wall and didn't grab that 10 for me. And yeah, why pick up a single pin,
We
right?
don't like the singles anyway.
Moron. Duncan, you don't like the singles anyways. We did not yesterday. Ugh. Ugly. Ugly. All right, so 60 and 3. I just need to go strike, spare, strike. Or rip the ball off the head pin to the right.
Blow it up. See what happens.
1, 3, 8, 9. Again, I like spares like this. Throw the ball down the middle, hit the pocket heavy and high, and let them do their thing. You know, you want to get this pretty high so the 1 goes into the 9 and the ball stays on for the 8.
Catch!
And
Oh,
like
come
an
on.
idiot, again, I'm off my mark. Hit the right side of the head pin. Just stupid. Stupid. I missed that one, plain and simple. All right, 9 with a plank in front of it. And I'm going to, yep, drop the ball. That's right, those fingers, they need to hold on.
It'll help.
Only need 51 to tie in the last 2 boxes. I'm struggling my way through here with 82 through 8. I do not feel good about this at all. But even the lanes are now finally trying to help me by knocking over the occasional pin. So I figure, hey, I'll chuck a couple of house balls down. I gave it a whole extra pin. But yeah, whoopsie. I guess when you're not throwing a lot of marks, the pins are always ready to reset. This string is frustrating me. I know it. I just want to get back on the head pin.
Oh, come on.
Or do I? Same split. Tell me if you've heard this one before. The 2 and the 4 off to the left, the 6 and 10 off to the right. No wood, dry as the Sahara. So right between the 2 and the 4. I thought I had it, but it just missed nipping the 2 and punched out the 4, which is, I think, the same thing I did earlier in the string when I started out with that. So now I'm just thinking hit the 6-10. And this time, instead of punching out the 6, I glue the ball to my finger and take out the 10. So an 8, a dry, awful 32 through 4 half. And it gets in your head. Like, you know you're a decent bowler. You know you should be able to throw decent strings. And I'm sitting here going, oh boy, I gotta try to break 100. And I do myself in. Once again, on the head pin. This time the 10 took itself out for me, but again, the 2, the 4, and the 6, no wood to help. Just got to put it between the 2 and the 4.
Catch! Ah,
And that one was heavy on the 2, so I'm sure this was in my head plenty. Don't miss the 6 pin. Don't miss the 6 pin. You want 100. You don't want a 99. There we go. Ugh. Well, Duncan takes a 5-3 lead in the match as he's on a winning streak of 2 in a row. He had 7 head pins, 2 strikes, and 3 spares. I had 7 head pins, but only 2 spares and 2 tens. Losing that one by 33 and now trailing by 58 in the match. But the good news for me is that ugly mess of a string is over. And we'll see if I can chip into this. A win will give me 5 points. A 59 pin win will do better for me, but baby steps, right? Duncan on the head pin a little thin. I think this is similar to the way that he started out the whole match. He had a, I don't know if it was a 3-pin split like this. I think it was on the right. So you just want to hit that. Oh, just to the left of the 2-pin. So he's looking at the 2, the 7, and the 8 to clean up for a 10 here, starting off the 5th. You know, for a ball that completely missed entirely, it's nice when you have a pile of wood over there that can at least help you trip one. So Duncan starts out with a 8 after his split. We'll see if he can right his ship here. Not quite sure. I know at one point in time there he was looking at the 5, 8, along with the 6 and the 10, and the 8 went. But some strange wood. I'm not sure how I'd shoot this as a righty. Probably try to catch the cap on the way in. Unfortunately for Duncan, I think he hit that wood a little more square than he wanted to. So now just the 5-pin to pick up for a 10. Wow, I would never have expected that to have reacted the way that it did. I don't think I would have tried to shoot the 5-pin like that when I'm looking at that spare, but maybe it would have picked it up for him. We'll never know. Oh, Duncan just off the head pin for the first time in this string, looking at the 1, 4, 7. No wood to really help him out, so he's going to have to hit this clean, either on the right side of the 1 or on the left side and run into the 4. And the seeing eyeball finds its way between the 1 pin and that piece of wood trailing behind to the right. So once again, the 1, 4, 7. And yeah, probably not the worst decision. I don't know if he did it intentionally or not, but guarantee you get the 2 pins and do everything you can to protect against your gigantic lead in this match. He's currently plus 85, and then it really becomes moot when he goes ahead and just slaps them around like that. An absolute hammer of a strike by Duncan here in the 5th string. Just, yep, that's a strike everywhere. Nice ball, Duncan.
A lot heavy. A lot of spin on it, though. A lot heavy, right in the pocket.
All right, so that is Duncan's 6th strike of the day. 13 spares so far. And 24 out of 44 on the head pin through 4 in 4 boxes. Ooh, that one bit a little, came over and took out the half Worcester on the left, so you do have another ball on a strike, thankfully. So we can add to the 2. Oh, he definitely, Duncan, there's something in your mind when it comes to those half Worcesters. Even if you throw the ball right through the hole, it doesn't become a full Worcester. It's still just a half Worcester and frustrating. A nice solid smash out of that there. But for the first time in any of our strings, we have a half that's under 50. So,
My own damn fault.
well, I'm sorry, I
Not
take that
greedy.
back. A first half that's under 50, because this jerk had a whopping 42 half in the last
Oh,
one.
silly,
So
silly, silly.
Duncan sits down at 47 at the half, which unfortunately means I'm trailing at the moment in the match by 105 pins total. So I need to clear this 47 plus another 58. And,
Not what I meant, but okay.
jeez. So
Over there.
off the head pin, there's a lot of spinning and
It's another
fiddling, and
Alright, head pin
when the
this way.
dust settles, I'm looking at the 910, a couple of pieces of wood over there to the left, and I'm certainly thinking about hitting that little striped one to push it into the 2.
Sweep the deep.
And yes, that felt good. Like, you know, when you have to hit a shot like that, you know where you want to hit it, where you want it to be, how you have to throw it. And boy, it almost looked like that piece of wood was on a string. It hit those 2 and then shot right back off the wall.
Sunk cost fallacy right there.
But hey, starting out with a mark again. Hopefully I can avoid the pitfalls of the last string of starting out with a mark and then falling apart.
Alright.
Once again, failing to find the head pin, destroying the right side, leaving myself the 4 horse to the left.
Hard man.
So the way that my ball goes, I'm usually aiming for the 1-3 pocket to kind of push these ones down the line.
Give it a run.
And yeah, I don't think I ever think about, let me just punch out the 2 pin. Mission accomplished. All right, 147 to clean this up for a 10. And a little heavy on the head pin, but hey, you know what? At least I hit the head pin. So I'll settle for the 8 box. Frustrating. You know you have a lot of pins you've got to try to cover the ground on, and you know, here you are just punching and missing your marks. Back on the head pin. Lighter than I would have expected the way that felt, but you know, again, this is me teaching me back-to-back days. You're going to be a little less reliable than you are, but a lot of action on that. It looked like an automatic triangle really if I hit the front of it, but you'll see the 5 pin just sail to the sidewall and come back. Made me wonder if the 5 pin actually would have come back to catch the 4. You know, the walls at Millis, they are lively. But again, you saw how that pin kind of slid sideways before finally going. On the fill, I still can't be bothered to deal with a head pin on this side. That's frustrating. So 4 horse off to the left, the 10 pin trailing off to the right. Looking to clean this up for the 10. Actually, for the spare, I take it back. So now I have to shoot the 1-2 pocket. Or not. I've just been annihilating the head pin today, and not in ways that really help. So that's what you do. That is the fun of it. So I will settle for the 8 box here, dangling the 210. Just frustrating, knowing that I want to put together a decent half. I want to try to chip into this to give myself some hope of a shot at total, but that ball ain't gonna be it. Yet it is Millis, folks. I was frustrated. I know I had pulled 3 out of my 4 balls to the right of the head pin, and I thought, okay, I just need to let this one go. Not that much. But thanks to Millis, now all I gotta do is hit the head pin. Now all I had to do was hit the head pin. And I didn't. So, all right, now all I gotta do is hit the head pin, right? Did it so well the box before. Let's go for the 10. Bang. That would have been a nice spare. But instead, it's 10. I do have a light lead of 10 pins in the string, but again, trailing 58 coming into it, so trailing 48 to this point, as I only had a single head pin, a pair of spares, and a 10 for that half.
Thinking. Gotta stop that.
Duncan's got to stop himself from thinking. All right, I like that theory. So with 5 to go, let's see what Duncan can do. Off the head pin, leaving himself the 1-8-9. He's got a nice piece of trailing wood behind him.
I like the wood.
So he's got a blocking piece of wood over to the left. So either side of the head pin, this should work out.
Oh, man, that was a big.
Wow.
That was a big.
Yeah, I thought that had it.
There?
I really did. Took out the 1-9. Somehow the 8's still standing. It went untouched. Go for the single pin for a 10. Ooh, a little luck from the wood.
We're gonna just ride off it and in.
That is Duncan's whopping 4th 10 of the match. That said, he does have 19 marks, so you know that's not going to leave you a lot of opportunities for 10s. There it is. That's what he likes to do. That little head pin shave leaves him the wing off to the left with a nice plank in front of it. So stripe and take it home. Dead on. Absolutely. He knew it when he threw it. And you'll see that ball. If his head's not in the way, you'll see that this ball is absolutely on that stripe. Perfect. Maybe I should slow my slow motions down, or my instant replays down to like 75%. But I try to do it so it's just a 10-second instant replay, which generally is the amount of time it takes someone to set up for the next box, so I'm not missing any action when I do the replays. On the fill. Wow. Really good crushing pocket ball. Duncan with 6 strikes on the day. I thought that would have been number 7. No! Back to back. So, a beautiful cover by Duncan, which now is making it look like I'm going to have to work my ass off if I want to at least win the string to get to 5 points. So pressure is back on me. 85 plus through 8 for Duncan. That puts him pretty assuredly at breaking 600 for the day.
You know, you dodged that for a
Third
long
time. Third time as he eagles on a spare. I think every time I think he's had 3 spread eagles today, and they have all been on spares. He just hasn't thrown one for the hell of it when it wouldn't screw him on a fill. He's saved it for fills every single time. So off his mark, he's still falling. Ooh. Every time he's thrown at the spread eagle, they've been drama filled as far as, excuse me, what's going to happen after, you know, would it pick it up or whatever.
Well, wasn't expecting that.
Not how I expected him to shoot that one at all. Obviously, I would have tried to go to the inside of or the outside of the 2-pin for him, to kind of try to push things over. But he'll take the 8 box. 97 with 1 to go. And strike number 7. Nice and slow, so we'll catch this one as it goes. The mix, the slow fall from the 5, the side trip of the 6, and Duncan's 7th strike of the match. I'm not going to prophesize a 2-4 on that.
You set the wrong lane.
Duncan was 7 strikes, 15 spares, 4 10s, and 1 reset of the wrong lane.
Oh, you're looking at Swan.
As he as he resets lane 14 just for sport. All right. First ball on the strike. Oh, look at this crap.
Ain't over yet.
Love it. Love it. So it just has to run down the 4-horse to the right. No, that one's going to stay out there. So 8 on the strike, a 115, and a hell of a match. A 617 for Duncan. He came into the into the fifth string, leading by 58. I need 58 in the last half just to win the fifth string. So I'm in trouble. Duncan ends with 28 out of 50 on the head pin, 7 strikes, 15 spares, and a whole 4 tens. But again, when you drop 20 plus marks, that, you know, the tens aren't so big of a deal. There we go. That's the way to start a rally. The same thing I did in the second half of the first string, just ripping the right back triangle. All right, just leave this ball out there, or bring it in and annihilate the 3 pin. So, all right. The 1-5 and everything to the left. Just let it go. A good ball. No love coming off the wall there for the 4, so I'll take the 9, but still need 49 over 4 boxes. So I'm gonna need probably 2 marks at least to get to have a chance of taking the string.
Boom.
Almost had one.
Had a couple variants, but you haven't.
So
spread eagle
I'm
right
needing a
here.
bunch
You
of
haven't had
marks
you've had a couple
to
variants,
throwing
but
a
you
bunch of
haven't had a good one.
splits here. So the spread eagle minus the 7, which seems to have fallen sideways on the plate. I kind of wanted to get to the other side of the 3 pin, but on the inside, letting it try to get a little action off the wall. I took out the right wing, just the 2-4 here to clean up for a 10.
Oh, professional 10 box right there.
Thank you, Duncan. It's like the only 10 box that we've thrown. I tell you, missing pins, missing single pins,
No,
off target all day
I'm the only
long.
one that does professional 2
I need that 10. And again, I now need 40 and 3 to bail myself out of this match.
Good
Oh.
night. See you
I now
later.
need
You did the same thing. You threw an
30
eagle variant,
and
10
2.
down. You get rewarded.
It was a pretty solid strike there. Let's get that one on a replay because I feel good about life for a second. So that's the way I like to throw them. A nice high clobber. Carries the 10 down late, so I'm not done yet. Yay! Dropping a strike in the 8th. Let's see if we can fill it worth a damn.
2 of them. Come on. Are you kidding me?
I wish I was kidding you, Duncan. I wish I was kidding me, but what looked like a very similar ball.
That's absolutely
Oh.
I might throw it at the 10 pin.
4, 7, 9,
See if I can
10.
catch that wood rock there. I don't
So
really know.
I'm thinking about how to shoot at this one. I kind of want to catch that front piece of wood on the far right. See if I can't somehow get something to shoot across to the 4-7.
Catch. Oh! What a shot.
I don't think I hit that right where I wanted to. I think I hit that a little more center, but that pin did what I wanted it to do coming off the wall. So sometimes when you get a bunch of wood sandwiched up there, you just gotta give it a stab. So I think I might have bailed myself out of some trouble there with that pickup. So 106 plus.
Come on, one more.
The good news is that gives me the string.
Way to
The
take
bad
string
news
out.
is that gives me fits as I've thrown my 3rd split in the last 4 boxes. So I don't think either Duncan and I can claim high ground on being ruined by splits. I know I did throw, I'm looking real quickly, I know I threw more splits than Duncan, but I was hoping to get a little kick over there. It's not like it's for anything important here other than pride and average and, you know, knowing that I'm a better bowler than the 105 and the 100 that I threw there. Duncan's giving me shit about the single pin.
Oh! Never in doubt on
And
that
thank
one.
God I could at least not miss a single pin at the end of the match. So, a frustrating match. Duncan blows me up, and all the credit to him. I enjoy bowling with Duncan and against him. But he takes 9 points to my 5, and he takes total by 49. I finished that string with 5 head pins, a strike, 3 spares, and 3 tens. So again, on the day, Duncan was 28 head pins. I had 29. Yay! He had 7 strikes. I had 4. He had 15 spares. I had 11. His 4 tens to my 12, but it doesn't matter because he got 9 points. I got 5, and I got dangled with a whopping 49 pin abuse in the match as he wins it 617 to 568. But what I'll do is, for the hell of it, since all this is here, I'm going to get my score sheet out of the way. I'm going to get my stats out of the way. And let's go over the highlights that I had clipped here. Oh, that was the last one. Who cares about that one? Let's go back to Duncan starting out picking up the 310. This is before I realized I had the wrong camera set up. But I do like that camera. It's a great picture. So Duncan now with just a simple duck on his second box. Just gotta, again, the lane gives you spares like this. You can't miss them. So he drills the 2. And then the late smuggle push go. Starts out the match with 3 marks in a row, capping it with that strike there. But I can throw a strike too, getting the second push on the 5 pin. Trying to catch up to Duncan in that string. That was not easy. A baby split. This actually happened from missing the head pin. The wing to the left with a 9 trailer. Hit the stripe and let it snowplow. Following that up with a little 5-8. See, when I slide right, when I release right, the ball goes where I want. Duncan with another duck. Just again, crush the 4-pin plank. Worth noting, I think both of those two he's got without the wood there. He was dead on the lines. The 1, 2, 7, 8. Boom. Nice explosive cover by Duncan there. This looks like me. Nice and easy 3-6. Boink. Hit the pin, hit the wood, and watch it sweep. They're all standing for now. That's a fast splash. And that's also the wood that we ignored. Duncan with a triangle with the planks takes the duck. That's 3 trucks there, Duncan. You do a good job of getting them set up like this. Oh, I remember this. Picks up the 4 horsemen the way that I like to pick them up, on the outside. Crushes it down the line. Had a piece of wood in there to help. I was worried about the wood on the right, so I wanted to hit the one on the left hard, and there you go. Duncan's got them all standing. And I like that little leg trip of the 5. Oh, the blocking piece of wood. They're so mean. Gotta get them up high. Oh, I clipped it twice because I'm a jerk. But we get to watch it again. It still counts. Alrighty. Duncan on the single. By enough. Complete with a whoo-hoo face. Thanks, Skull. It was a good match. Like I said, bowling back-to-back nights, or back-to-back literally within 12 hours. Not my forte. Boom, a nice high strike by Duncan. But if I want to bowl better and I want to bowl more often, as Duncan cleans up the Millis 8, the 1-2 conversion for a spare, putting 3 in a row again. Oh, it's actually 4 in a row there. If I want to get better, I want to bowl back-to-back, I got to do it. I don't know if that wood needed to get over there to trip that 7. It looks like it was leaning, but I took a strike, and then Duncan takes one back here in the 4th. I like that little internal sweep of the 4. Duncan had to hit this little stick on the outside to sweep the 3-5. Nice and high, and of course the ball's going to come back and hang out with us. And to complete his good first half there in the 4th, another solid wall pin, taking out that 8 at the end. Nothing special here, just a 4-pin with a plank. Don't miss them. Boink. Once again, planks in the corner, but double wood, so I want to hit and drive through this guy on the line. Boom. We'll take that spare. Duncan with a snowplow. So again, stripe or higher. Should push this right down. Right on it. Oh, I remember this one. Hit it light. Lighter than I would have. And it carries over the 8 at the end. Nice ball. Those are always interesting. Same way you shoot that is the same way you shoot the half Worcester. Duncan wasn't done throwing strikes. That's his 6th of the match there early in the 5th. Let's sweep this over into the 9 and 10. Yes. I still can't believe how fast that pin came back off the wall. A nice easy triangle. We're going to see some crazy action here too. There's that 5-pin like a windshield wiper. Duncan with another snowplow, this time on the left wing. Spot on. Spot on. Good ball, kid. A little 4-7. He thought it was going to be tight. Saw the hand behind the back trying to pull that ball off. And the little push of the 5 into the 6 for his 7th and final strike of the match. Nice job. I need a strike. Actually, I really did need a strike. And there it is. The flat 6-pin nudging the 10. This one, not quite where I wanted it to be, but obviously where it needed to be. Woof. That was a sigh of relief there, as that's what it took for me to win this match. So Duncan beat me up pretty good again, and I appreciate it, and I thank everybody for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.